Hello everybody, welcome to the tutorial for your final project for the semester. You'll owe me this project instead of playing the concert and the rehearsals that would have preceded those concerts. So we're talking about a project that is, hours in scope, not minutes, okay? Possibly even days. But the project is this. In the email that I sent you containing this video link, you'll find a YouTube link to a piano accompaniment of a piece called The Swan by Camille Saint-Saëns. I've also included in that email arrangements for your instruments, violin version, viola version. I have two different cello versions actually. One is the original, the way Saint-Saëns wrote, it's for cello, but I've included an octave lower version for those of you who are not quite feeling up to playing the high register on the cello. So you can take that version if you'd like. But this project is not only about learning the piece and making it sound very good and rehearsing it with the existing piano tracks so that you can simulate an ensemble playing, but it's also about video production and sound engineering a little bit. We're in an interesting era of musicians being separated from the audience entirely, and many of us found ourselves having to improvise with things that are available around our house. I have my laptop hooked up to my television here. There isn't anything visually important in this piano track, but I'm using the speaker from my television because it's louder than the one that's on my laptop. I've hooked those things together with the HDMI cord. I'm really bad with technology, so if I can figure it out, I think you can. Nonetheless, I'm gonna demonstrate the gist of what I want, yeah? And it's due April 20th, the day our concert would have been, okay? Due April 20th, this is your final project. Let's first make sure that I'm gonna be in distance and orientation where everything is visible. I have in fact rehearsed this with camera rolling a bunch of times before I made this tutorial. I know my TV is set super loud. Somehow the microphones in these devices, they tend to boost the live sound. So I'm gonna play the piano, the piano part through the TV speaker super loud. As I'm making this video, to me it sounds really loud. I'm also going to not play very loudly, certainly not at a level where I would be if I was on stage live, yeah? These things need experiments and you need to figure it out. How you sound in your final product definitely counts toward your grade, yeah? I don't want like a rather good playing, but if I can't hear the piano part at all and I can't tell if you're together with it or not, that's not gonna get an A. So I want you to have rehearsals and tape them and watch the tape and figure things out. For me, for this format, that distance and this orientation and that volume is about right. So the track starts with the tuning note, and I should tell you the tuning note is pretty much A440, square A440. So make sure your instrument is in tune to that. Here we go. Let me demonstrate this version. The piece starts with 6 beats of rest for you, a bar of rest. 5, 6. So on and so forth. I have another station set up in another part of my house because maybe you don't have a TV. Maybe you're still stuck in a dorm room. Maybe you're in the basement of a host family. Maybe you're in a hospital bed. Hopefully not. But anyway, here's another setup. So this time I'm gonna use an iPad with a sound level that's quite a bit less than what I can pump out of my TV. It's a tiny speaker, right? So I have my iPad actually closer to the camera than myself, and I'm gonna put a mute on my cello. This is like heavy practice mute. If you don't have a big practice mute, you know, maybe a mute. But experiment, once again, distance. I'm sitting further back. I'm putting this device with the piano track in it closer to the camera in this case. Okay, it's thinking about it. I'm tuning note. Okay, once again, starts with the bar of rest. Yes, you'll see that in your music. So on and so forth. Yeah, I've picked this piece carefully. It wasn't just out of the blue. It's clearly a live pianist. It's not a MIDI file or computer readout. It's an actual person playing it. So there is a bit of a sway. It's musical. It's not metronomic, but it's constant 16th notes. So I think it's easy enough to follow, which is basically what you're supposed to be doing. If you're playing live ensembles, you're supposed to adjust to each other, except this pianist won't adjust to you. You have to do all the adjusting. I want a footage of this piece performed by you with the YouTube pianist and your instrument. Refer to the arrangements that I sent you, practice it, put it together. One last thing I want is in your final product, in a video presentation like this, I want you to say something to introduce your performance, which is often what you'd have to do. You do that in performance classes too, yeah? So I want you to say who you are and what the piece is, and if you want to be extra charming, a little something about, you know, this is for you, or I dedicate this to my uncle, or, you know, who's a doctor and is in the ER, whatever, you know what I mean? Something that opens the show, right? So if I am to do that, it'll be like, I'm Charles Lee. I'm happy to play for you today. The Swan, a very beautiful piece. It's written by Camille Saint-Saëns. It's part of a larger ensemble piece called The Carnival of Animals. Hope you enjoy it. Boom, start playing. Well, actually, start playing that first. Okay. I want you to ask me questions if you have any. Hopefully this tutorial will help you. And I want it by April 20th. I've been going midnight, so midnight, April 20th, before it becomes April 21st. That's when I want this. Good luck, everybody. Have fun.